How's it hanging, YouTube? Peter here, your Ginger Joe the Geek. Welcome back to another Geek Art Attack. And I'm surrounded as ever by some of the best artists on YouTube. We'll start off at the bottom with Kev. How are you, Kev?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good, mate. Very good. Looking forward to drawing some interesting Star Wars imagery, I hope.
I am. I struggle with Star Wars. I think it's the helmets that throw me off.
I love a good
Kev struggles
love
with
a
the
good
helmet.
helmet. Love a good helmet, yeah.
Let's keep us PG, folks.
Yeah.
But we're drawing aliens. Fine.
Yeah, aliens are fine, but no helmets.
Yeah.
Fair enough. James, how are you with a nice helmet? Are you a helmet man?
Yeah, I love a good shiny helmet. It's my favorite thing.
This is degraded quickly, hasn't
to
it?
draw.
How are you, James? Are you well?
I am delicious. Thank you very much.
Delicious. Good stuff,
Yes.
good stuff. And GP, sun's out, guns out.
Definitely, got to do it.
Yeah. How are you, bud? Are you well?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. Looking forward to tonight.
Yeah, and you've already
Always.
sent us a little image, which is stunning, so I'll show
I
you
have.
off in a little bit.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that. Now, as ever, we can't do it alone. So whilst we're all drawn, the people who are putting me through with tasks and keeping the chat going are James T. Keegan and Efren. So we'll start off with you, James. How are you?
Hello there.
Hello there.
Hello.
Indeed. Yeah.
You know,
Are well?
I'm always in a good mood when we're talking Star Wars, man. So like,
Very true.
Yeah, I'm in my element
Very
right
true.
now.
So have you got some interesting things for to draw tonight?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, this is. I think me and Efren had our little meeting the other day, and we were like, "Yeah, this is gonna be a good one. We're pretty proud of this one." So
I love that you take this so seriously. You have like a pre-show meeting to discuss the
meetings.
topics.
Yeah. I assume we're
He's a
getting paid.
professional.
You're
Very
billing on my wages.
Okay, now brace yourselves. Efren, how are you?
What is going on, Star Wars Familia? This is one episode I wasn't going to miss. I missed last month. I was busy, but said Star Wars, there's no way I'm going to miss this one. Like I said yesterday, James and I, we talked. We had a quick few laughs, about it, and I think it's going to be a great show. This Star Wars is a great choice.
Good stuff. And I'm loving your top there, Efren. Your tie-dye Star Wars top. Looks
Yeah.
very, very cool. Okay. Always nice to see you guys. Just before we jump to the chat, I just want to do a quick canter through some things that are coming up on various channels before I start the show. So obviously, we've got the 1/6 scale show, which we did last Thursday. Please do check that out if you want to learn a little bit about some of the 1/6 scale action figure releases. We did our comic show on Friday, myself and the guys. That was a great laugh. If you're into comic books and you want to know what we thought of the week's books, please do check that one out. Excuse me. Saturday night, we did a Saturday Night Live show, and we talked about the greatest superhero of all time, which was good fun, bit of debate and discussion with that one. I wanted to mention this. This is over on Attention Seeking Geeks channel tomorrow at 4:30, I believe, where he's going over his top 50 cosplays. So you can see in the image there's going to be some interesting images to show you. So please do go and support Ben over on the Attention Seeking Geeks channel. Straight after that, we've got JP on his show.
Yeah.
JP, tell me about this one.
Yeah, so this is Efren's pick, Philadelphia Volume 1, that we're going to be reviewing. So definitely looking forward to that.
Good stuff. And what time are we kicking off? Is it 8 o'clock?
8 o'clock,
Yeah. Philadelphia. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's a very interesting book. Efren got me into it, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And as usual, a big shout out to all the UK, UK YouTube and community. We've got the This Week in Metropolis. Those lads are just on their usual break at the moment, but they'll be back soon, I'm sure. We've got the Nerd Herd on a Wednesday night doing comic book reviews. Killer Comic Show on a Thursday, always a fun show. I can't remember what their focus is this week. They did Lobo last week, which was really cool. I'm not sure what the focus is. Any of you guys know?
I'm not sure.
It was a creator focus, wasn't it?
It's Delotto. Delotto. Yeah. It's Gabriel
nice.
Delotto. Yeah. So that'll be really cool. He does some stunning work.
Yeah.
And Saturday night, we've got good old Grey Man doing his Cover Slingers show. So please do go and check that out. Okay, let's just quickly jump into the comments and then we'll make a start, guys. So as ever, we've got good old StreamYard. Thank you for joining. We've got Chris Bell. Evening, I'm at work, but tend to be busy. Good man, Chris. Chris sent us an image I'm going to show later on. It's absolutely phenomenal. We've got good old Jack. Thank you for joining, Jack. Again, Jack sent some imagery my way, so I shall show that later on. Always a pleasure. And we've got John. thank you very much for joining, bud. Always appreciate. Okay. Could you shout that instead of typing it? Do you think, James? Is it?
No, the kids are in
No.
bed. Art.
Oh, I like that.
Oh,
I might
yes,
have to clip
a
that as
bar.
part of the intro video. Every week we'll just have art.
Do an ASMR episode.
Yeah.
Bloody hell! Thought we had the Hulk on the panel then. Oh, I think that's in relation to your guns, JP. You're impressing people. We've got Sean. Thank you for joining, Sean. And we've got Ben, the attention-seeking geek. Ben, just confirm. I showed you image a second ago. There, it's 4:30 your show tomorrow, I think, isn't it? Just remind people in the chat, please. Okay, guys. So let's crack on. We're going to be talking Star Wars tonight. I know you're all Star Wars fans, so we'll just get straight on because I know James and Efren have got lots to talk about. As ever, there's a viewer competition, so please do send some images my way. I'll be checking Instagram as the night goes on. I've already had a fair few, but I will check as the night goes on and put those images up. 4:45, Ben's saying. I was 15 minutes off. Cheers, Ben. Thank you for that.
Professional.
Rules as usual, chaps. You can use any medium you want. You can use reference material. 5 minutes ish for the art. We'll flex that a bit. And there'll be 4 rounds. Okay, with that, I shall hand over to James and Efren.
Right, boys. First up, this is Efren's choice. Efren, who would you say your favorite character in Star Wars animation would be?
My favorite. Oh, by the way, before we started yesterday, Ben, we were talking and we were saying, I think it's going to be more than 5 minutes. You know.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I can see one of these 20 minutes easy.
Yes.
So.
You guys are in 20 minutes. You guys are in charge. You know.
So, but yeah, we were talking yesterday and we said, what's your favorite Star Wars character? This character to me, it wasn't like one of the original, like for the first 3 movies. I caught on to this character years and years later, even when the animated series first came out on them. I didn't watch it at the beginning, but I was really captivated by this character, and it's like my favorite Star Wars character, and it's Ahsoka. I really love this character. And I'm glad she's gonna be on a Disney Plus show. I also want to see her on the big screen, though. I think it'd be fantastic if we see her in an actual Star Wars movie, like in the theater.
I assume we will with that Dave Filoni one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. But yeah, character I've fallen in love with as well. I just recently watched Clone Wars. I have to say the animated version, I'm kind of leaning towards as my favorite version of the character. I think Rosario Dawson's excellent as it, but
yes, I agree with you 100%. The animated version of hers is excellent. If I was to get any Star Wars tattoo, it'd be of this.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's fair. All right, guys. So we'll start the timer now.
Yeah.
5 minutes, do us a little Ahsoka Tano. So, Efren, on the topic of Star Wars animation, I just want to talk a little bit about kind of some of the past shows because, like, I've just recently binged through Clone Wars, Bad Batch as well.
Yes.
Amazing. Like these, like I think a lot of people have problems with like where Disney has taken Star Wars, but I think in the animated realm, they've been impeccable. That final season of Clone Wars, excellent. Rebels is excellent.
Yes.
Bad Batch is excellent. Out of all these shows, which would you say is your favorite, or is there any kind of moments in them that you would highlight as your favorite?
As I stated earlier, it took me a while to get into the animated series for some reason. I just didn't watch them when they first came out until afterwards, especially Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels. We'll talk about the last one on the right because I've never seen that one yet.
Neither have I. Yeah, it was just in the image that I nicked offline. Star Wars Resistance, isn't it? Yeah,
I think so, but I got to check it out. But my favorite scene was from Star Wars Rebels. Usually when I'm watching TV, sometimes like I'm multitasking, but when this particular scene came on, I put down everything. It was like I was at a movie theater and I was just like, my jaw dropped. I was like, what the heck? It was when Ahsoka fought Darth Vader. That scene was so captivating to me, and I just went, "Oh my God, this is such a great scene." I wish they would have extended it.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and I want to go back and watch Rebels again because now I think with the context of Clone Wars that a lot of this stuff hits. But even like first time watching through Rebels, like there's just some amazing stuff in it, like really incredible. Like Thrawn, I think just leapt off the page into the show and like perfect casting with Lars Mikkelsen. Very excited to see him in the Ahsoka show. Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul. with their kind of final battle.
That was a good one too. I think
Yeah.
an underrated animated series. Like I said, I didn't watch it until years later on. I think it's fantastic. I wish they would have continued this series, the animated series. You know, I loved it that much. You know,
we are getting effectively the next season of it with Ahsoka.
Yeah, we are.
But yeah, like it. I think it is excellent. Like now, to be fair, I think there's more guff in this. Like there's more of a difference between the best stuff and the worst stuff. Like some episodes are kind of just the same thing over and over again. It's them getting in trouble and then winning. But like when it hits hard, like harder than anything else. So yeah, it's incredible. But for me, like going through the animated stuff, like Clone Wars has some incredible arcs. I think the bombing of the Jedi Temple, in particular. So this is where Ahsoka gets like framed for setting off a bomb, and she goes on
I haven't
trial.
gotten that far yet, James.
Apologies. All right. Well, so do you want to mute us for a second?
No, you're right, mate. I knew it was happening anyway.
Allegedly,
allegedly.
The box. Do you remember the box episode? Efren.
What's that about?
So this is where Obi-Wan like fakes his death and goes undercover as a bounty hunter.
Yeah, that was a good one. That.
Yeah, and he's in like a sort of this like game thing to like determine who's the best bounty hunters for like a job.
Wow, I gotta watch it again. Thanks.
Yeah, it's a really cool arc. I think it's like 3 episodes or something. It's a really cool one. Fives discovering Order 66.
Yeah.
That was so tense. And like it's incredible how you know he's not going to win, but it's still tense. Like you still really are rooting for him and hope that he like uncovers it. But that was a really great one. And like I think the first 2 seasons, the clone stuff can be iffy, but as it goes on and you get to know these characters, like they really do stand out as the highlight. And then of course, like the last few episodes kind of running concurrently with Revenge of the Sith are incredible as well. So like, yeah, I would say that the last arc of the show is probably the best one in the whole thing.
I like that scene where Ahsoka basically rescued Rex because he had turned because of Order 66 also, but she captured him, if I remember, and she took out the chip or whatever was in him, the implant, so he could be himself. I thought that was very poignant. I go, wow, she saved him. I thought that was
absolutely. And like I've kind of up until watching this show, I've always interpreted the clones as turning into villains. Like Commander Cody, I look at as a villain until watching this, and you get to know them, and like Rex in particular, when he's kind of turning, you see that they're as much victims of that as the Jedi were. So yeah, it's just an impeccable storytelling.
Really quick question. The Bad Batch, they didn't have the implants or chips because of their mutation, correct? I presume
it's that they're not as active, like, so they don't fall under the influence of it because of their mutations. But there's an episode where Wrecker starts kind of imprinting in him, and then obviously with Crosshairs. Bad Batch is a show now. Simon, I know, recommended this one strongly, and I kind of ignored it for a while. But like finishing Clone Wars, I kind of went straight into it. It's fantastic, and I think a lot of people are really sitting on this one, but should really give this a go. Like I think it's really just a wonderful cast of characters in this one, and like exploring that transition from the clone troopers to stormtroopers, I thought was really interesting as well.
I really hope in this era they continue Disney Plus making. I know Bad Batch has one more season left, but I'm really into these this era of Star Wars, and hopefully they'll continue it somehow.
Yeah. Who would be your favorite out of the team? Mine was Crosshairs. I think like Crosshairs is the best character in the Bad Batch, like as a whole, the show. But like, who would be your favorite in the series?
I apologize because I don't remember their names completely. But the one on the second from the right, the smart one. What was his name again?
Tech.
Tech. I like the character.
I love Tech. Is my favorite out of the core kind of team. For the majority of the show, I think he's excellent. Have a look at the chat here. Jack Rollins, Obi-Wan, and Maul encounter for me is my favorite scene in the animations. I think that's absolutely fantastic choice. Phil's Nerdiverse Evening All couldn't be part of tonight and showcase my amazing art. I know everybody is sad, of course. Original Big Dave Rebels was superb. Both that and Clone were better than the recent films. I think that's a fair point. Like, story from some of the recent films, but the animation superb.
James, you keep breaking up a bit.
Ben. Am I? Perfect timing, innit? There we go. Can you hear me?
You better not freeze because I don't want to do this solo.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Yeah, okay. Attention seeking geek, Savage Oppressed, Cad Bane, Jar Jar love story. Zillow Beast is a great one, isn't it? I love the kind of Godzilla style episode.
Yeah.
Part
That
2
was good.
episodes. Yeah, Aura Singh and Dengar with young Boba. Yeah, I love the young Boba stuff as well. I thought there were some really clever storylines in there. Bad Batch season 1, so good. Season 2 poor. I don't know about that. I really liked season 2.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was all enjoyable. I think when you like something, you just want it maybe in your head to be good. And I just can't. I mean, I just really enjoyed the animated Star Wars shows, you know. So, I mean, it wasn't as good as one, but I still thought it was enjoyable.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, because as it goes on, you get to know the characters a bit more. I think like the best Crosshair stuff is in that second season as well. So yeah. James, how has it been like a year streaming and your internet is still shit? I don't know if it is my internet or it's just my computer like overloading. Who knows? But after that, I'm curious what Bad Batch is ending with season 3. What would you like the next Star Wars animated show to focus on? Like what kind of period, or is there a group of characters or a certain element of Star Wars you'd like to see an animated show on?
I know we've talked when we were, getting ready for this show. We talked like that. I'm just talking about the Star Wars movies really quick. We always I said that they should move forward, not focus so much on the past. To me, it's the opposite. When an animated series, I just love the backstories that we didn't get like from the movies, just the intricacy and getting to know each character more. I would love if all these 3 series would come back.
Yeah.
And if they can come up with some other new character in Star Wars lore, I think to me, it fascinates me. It has to do with the animation, a lot of it. I won't lie. It's just, it just captivates me a lot, more than the movies. I think I'm enjoying these animated series more than the movies.
Yeah. I think that's fair. Like the great thing about animation is that any character is on the table. Like, Clone Wars focuses on Anakin and Obi-Wan, who are the main characters of that trilogy. I'd really love to see like a young Ben Solo focus on his like turn to the dark side, like Luke training Jedi, and we get to see a bit more of his relationship with like Han and Leia, and a bit more of those characters together.
I like that.
Yeah, so in the way Clone Wars kind of justified the prequels to a lot of people, I think you could do that with the sequels with a show like that. So that's something I'd be interested.
Maybe one on the. I think did you just say maybe one focusing a little bit more on bounty hunters? As they go through their going after.
Absolutely. Well, as Ben says here, Kit Fisto spin off with Cad Bane as the main villain. I mean, I'll watch it. Not a bother. But Dr. Van Hoos in the house.
Good.
John. Tales of the Jedi. Efren, have you watched that one?
Yes, I love it.
It's great. And I know it is like literally just like 2 arcs basically, but the Dooku stuff in that I thought was
Dooku was just like I was like, wow, I didn't know that much about him, and how they killed off a certain character, I was like, wow, man, we're giving you guys way more than 5 minutes. This is Star Wars minutes. It goes on.
I will be generous. There's less people to go through during the.
That's true. Yeah.
The show off, Yeah. As Ben says here, I know some of the comics cover the Ben Solo stuff for the Rise of Kylo Ren or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But still, I think you could still flesh that stuff out. But that is something I've been meaning to give a read. An Inquisitor show be cool, I think. So there's a book coming out soon about the Inquisitor, so I'm looking forward to reading that. I love Tales of the Jedi. Was good too. Loved seeing a young Dooku with him learning Qui-Gon's death. Yeah, that was great. And just like seeing the events of like Phantom Menace from a different perspective was really cool as well.
One thing I liked about the Clone Wars is the final few episodes. I don't know if it gets mentioned enough, but it's the there's like an eerie sort of background track throughout the whole like last 2 episodes, and it's just so it's like an unnerving tone.
Yeah, it's really ominous,
and it just makes those episodes. That's why I like really love those last couple of episodes.
Speaking of Clone Wars, there was this one episode where Darth Vader, before it was Darth Vader, he found out that he was going to become Darth Vader, and then they took away his memories.
Yeah, he forgets it then. He finds out he's going to be Darth Vader, and then he becomes evil, and then he.
I was like, dang, man, that was intense. What the heck?
Yeah, that was
Also,
good. That whole, like,
also very convenient too.
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah. Mortius was it, and there was like the personifications of the Force and all that. Yeah, interesting stuff, guys. I think that's enough time for you. Which is one, but you can't be complaining now. You didn't get enough. You're not finished at this point.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Okay.
Dog shit.
We gave you about 15 minutes.
Efren, you could have given us all night, mate. It would still look like crap.
Yeah.
She looks like she's had a massive stroke.
I'm
Mine looks
excited
like
now
a
to
head's
see-
too big for a body, like a Funko Pop.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually quite proud of mine. So
That's not bad at all.
Pete, I think we went for the same image again.
You're ready to pick the same image
That's
again. That's all right.
I like
Nice.
it.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
Happy days. James.
I'm going on sketch cards again.
Oh,
Oh, that is
Nice.
amazing.
right.
Love
Dang.
that.
Very, very good, James. Very good, mate.
Nice.
And Kev.
Like that.
Ah,
Ooh, very
Kev.
good.
Based.
I love it.
Nice.
Thank you.
You said you're just. Where's Phil? I need Phil to make me feel a bit better at least.
Okay, guys, I'm going to give you my address. You can send a couple of those to me. You know.
Yeah.
Throw them up, guys, for the screen.
Right.
Very
Click.
cool.
Very good.
Very cool. Loving those trading cards, James.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Is it quicker, like doing a little one? Would you say? Like,
I don't know. It's sometimes because you can't really get into a lot of details, but it's so it is and it isn't, but it's just fun. I think it's fun.
Yeah. Okay, fair. Right. Somebody mentioned aliens earlier, so I have you'll be happy with this one. So bounty hunters is a pretty cool element of Star Wars. So I would like you to create your own bounty hunter, but they cannot be a human and they cannot be a droid. So I want an alien bounty hunter.
Okay.
I can just feel the excitement from you guys right now.
Right.
You got
I'm-
Jack Rollins. Great
I'm on
effort, guys. Looks amazing. Mrs. Von Hoot Hoot.
Hoot hoot.
I know she's I'm assuming drawing along with us. So
Yeah,
Always
she's
fun to see at
not.
the end.
She's stunning, Normie. Absolutely stunning.
right. Comics. Efren, you wanted to talk a little bit about the kind of what's going on in the comic world of Star Wars at the moment.
So yeah, when I order comic books, I order them on a monthly basis, and this one came up. It started. The first one you could order was last month. It's the one on the left. It's C-3PO, and this is called Star Wars Dark Droids. Basically, this era takes place between one of the Star Wars movies, where C-3PO, goes bad. Basically, he becomes a dark droid, and like the first issue hasn't come out yet. First one's coming out, I believe, next month in August. And these variant covers, there's one it's like a 4-issue series. And
It's five. It's five. I skipped one.
5? Okay.
Because I couldn't fit it.
Oh, that's 5. That's right. Did I not give you one?
No, I skipped one because I couldn't fit it in the image without making them tiny. So
Okay. So it's 5 issues, but this
Yeah.
particular variant is covered by Rachel. Is her name? Rachel Stott. I just love these covers, and I'm gonna buy these all 5 of these covers. I think they're really kick ass. I just like the way the electricity.
That Vader cover is stunning. I love
Yeah.
the Vader one.
absolutely, yeah.
So, I'm gonna get this one. I forgot what's the third one about. Do you remember, James? I don't remember the third one.
It's the droid bounty. It's like Zuckuss, or I think it's Zuckuss.
Okay.
He's a droid bounty hunter.
So I'm really, I really want to read these. I want to see 3PO go bad for a couple of issues. He always is, but sometimes he's just too nice.
yeah.
And there's other covers also, but these are the main, to me, they're the ones that I'm going to get for sure. Because I just like the way they're connecting covers, so to speak. I think they're just, hopefully there's a good storyline. I'm hoping
I love the look of them, but I'm more interested in what happens. And then, like, I'd love
Yeah.
to find out, like, C-3PO did some effed up stuff.
Yeah.
Like between 1 and 2 of the movies.
I know. I'm pretty sure he's going up against R2-D2 is not bad. So I think they're actually going to be battling each other, and
That'd be cool to see. Actually,
Yeah.
I'd enjoy that. Yeah, I would assume now.
R2-D2 too. So
Yeah,
nope, he froze.
comics are kind of. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hear me now.
There we most of the comics, they're kind of between Empire and Jedi.
Okay,
That's kind of
there
where
you
most
go.
of the comics are taking place at the moment. So yeah, I'd assume it's in that area. But are you reading all or most of the Star Wars comics
I
at the
read
moment?
the main Star Wars books. I read Crimson Reign. I like Dr. Aphra a lot. I really enjoy that character. It's a new character that I also enjoy. I started reading Star Wars: The High Republic, but this is just me. I just lost interest in it. I just it was cool. I'm not saying it wasn't, but I don't know. It just didn't really grab my attention. But I did buy the first issue. It's like, oh my god, it said 200 years in the past, somewhere around there. And they showed Yoda at the beginning, but then he was gone. I didn't see him after that. I wish I would have had more Yoda in it.
Yeah, I think the appeal, because the High Republic's a big kind of multimedia project that Lucasfilm is doing. There's the Acolyte also takes place in that period. Jedi Survivor, the newest game, has a lot of elements of that as well. Like there's kind of tombs from the High Republic you explore. But I think the appeal of it is like you don't know what's going to happen in it really, because like it's we've never heard anything about this time period before. So like all these characters could die one issue. You just don't know. So I understand the appeal of it. But there's so much of it, I just haven't got into it yet. But I like the aesthetic. I like the kind of golden robes that the Jedi are wearing and stuff. So I've been meaning to jump on it at some point. War of the Bounty Hunters I read recently. And I loved it. I thought it was great. It's just a fun, and like it was cool because I read all the tie-ins. I got like a little bit of a taste of all of the Star Wars comics at the moment. It's like Dr. Aphra is basically like Indiana Jones, but Star Wars. Like she's a really fun one. And the Bounty Hunters with like Balance. I know Ben is not a fan of the character, but I think he's pretty cool. And I like that, like bringing Kira from Solo back and tying up some of those loose ends. I think is interesting. So I'll move on to next anyway. But like, overall, like, do you think the Star Wars comics are doing well at the moment?
Again, for some reason, when it comes to the comic books and the animated series, I just want to see stuff from the original Star Wars trilogy. I just really enjoy that. But when it comes to the movies, for some reason, I just don't feel that way. I just think they should go past it. But I don't know. But yeah, I love all these. Just learning more things about Star Wars history, like War of the Bounty Hunters, for example. I didn't know much. I knew about the bounty hunters, but it goes in depth into each character more and more, which I really enjoy. And Crimson Reign, when they brought back the character, I thought that was cool too. I just show them more and what happened to her after the Han Solo movie. I always found interesting her going up against Darth Vader. So I thought it was a good series. I really enjoyed it. And it was written by, I didn't notice it was by Charles Soule, right? Yeah.
So he did one of my favorite Star Wars comic runs, which is his Darth Vader one, which is set after Revenge of the Sith, and it's fantastic. Jack. So you have you read the Yoda comic? I know that you were at a panel for it, or was announced where you were at a convention or something. Is it good?
It's good. I like it. That's another thing. He's already, they show him in the swamp, and he's just like reliving his past, things that happened before that, and it's very interesting. I just like the way they mesh out these characters more and more. That's good. I've enjoyed the series so far. Yes.
Yeah. So you're enjoying all the comics. But do you ever read any of the novels?
God, dude, no. No, I have not. And just thinking of Star Wars Thrawn, Timothy Zahn, when I was at that, I was in Anaheim, close to Anaheim, and I was at this convention. And you can tell the story, James.
So you were doing your usual shout at a guest at a convention on camera. And I know I just saw like Zahn or on AHN on the bottom of one of the posters. I was like, was that Timothy Zahn? And you're like, yeah. And you're like, hey, Timothy. I was like freaking out. It's like he's one of my favorite authors. Like Thrawn is probably after Vader my favorite Star Wars character, and this is my favorite book. Now, to be fair, I read it while listening to the audiobook because I don't know if you've ever listened to a Star Wars audiobook. They have like amazing production value. They have like music and the sound effects and like little beeping of like you really feel like you're in the space that the scenes are taking place in. And like even Dooku Jedi Lost has like a full voice cast. So it is like listening to a movie, a lot of them. So I quite enjoy them. And Thrawn is just a phenomenal one. So like I'd love to meet Timothy Zahn at some point. But yeah, I'd recommend checking some of these out. They're not too long. Some of them are like 5 to 8 hours. I think Dooku's like 4.5. So
nice.
If you have Audible, you can get one for free if you sign up for Audible. I wish that was a sponsorship, but it's not.
You know what, James? You know what we're gonna do? one of these days we're just gonna, go behind the scenes, and I'm just gonna have you read it to me. So-
Yeah, I'll just edit out the narrator's effects.
Yeah,
I'll try and
yeah.
keep the sound effects in the back. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Ben, parting shot of Crimson Rain with her listening in on the celebration of the Battle of Endor was mint. Interesting. Okay, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to giving that a read. And it has Tiger, Jedi, in Jack. Don't know what that means, but fair. That's everything for this section, I think. So, guys, if you are finished, nobody darts their head back up. All right, guys, pencils down. Nobody, just ignore me. Okay, fair enough. Efren's gone. I can't even continue the conversation. So,
where's Efren gone?
He just left. I assume one of the birds is probably freaking out or something.
Oh, I hope it's Cactus again.
Is anybody finished? And I'll be nice. I'll start off with you.
I'm finished.
I'm done.
Okay. Right.
Well, I'm pretty much done. Just a second.
Okay. Just a second.
Yeah, mine started off okay, then it's turned to dog shit.
I'm looking forward more so to the concepts than the actual drawings themselves. Like, what
That's
species? Yeah. yeah. Right. Pete.
I'm out again.
Yeah.
So I've gone for a crossover. So I've gone for a crossover of classic properties, Star Wars and the Addams Family.
Right.
And we've got Bounty Hunter It. So
Nice.
Cousin It with some Beskar
Boba Fett.
armor. Beskar
Nice.
armor, is that right?
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
right?
right?
Yeah. Still got the hat though.
Still got the hat. He's got Boba Fett's little rocket at the back there, and that was an attempt at the Mandalorian visor thing in armor. We'll start.
Right. Okay. I like it, man. I think it's certainly creative. Kev.
Oh, I did a crossover as well. I did Dirty Liam Nub.
Oh,
That
very
is
cool.
That is
cool.
awesome. I love that.
That is
Fantastic.
very cool.
There you go, James.
Yeah, I just went with a Jawa bounty hunter, and he's saying,
That's a great idea. I've never actually done one. Yeah.
Is there not one in the universe? Have they not done a one yet?
I can't.
I mean, they're basically bounty hunters anyway, just for scrap metal, aren't they?
Yeah. There's so many Star Wars things. I'm sure one has popped up, but I've never come across it. GP.
I just have no imagination whatsoever. This is the Probinator.
Oh, GP, what's happened? What's happened?
Oh no, I'm tired.
Couldn't give him a hat or a poncho or something. No,
He doesn't need it.
a little Western.
Yeah,
Okay.
them fingers
He's got
is all
nothing
it
there to
needs.
cover up.
Yeah, the winner.
I'm going to show them on screen, guys. And
Very good.
If we
Hang
lost.
on, I'll move this. There you go. And click.
very cool.
Beautiful.
Very, very cool. Love it. Love it.
Awesome. See the chat. I have jackets. Great. Very samurai protector of the village type stuff. Very cool. I went frame me for a second. Am I still here?
Yeah.
They still have
yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Okay. All right, boys. We'll move away from characters for a little bit. This also is Efren's, I believe. We want to see your favorite Star Wars ship.
Yeah.
So it doesn't need to be a specific one. You could just do a TIE fighter or a Jedi Starfighter or something if you want. So just your favorite ship design in Star Wars.
Well, in my little book with ships.
There you go. GP, this would be piss take for you, wouldn't it?
I reckon.
Your little book.
In my little book.
A little book of shits.
Right.
And we'll start now. There we go. Right, Efren. Star Wars came out in 1977 and took over the world in a way no other movie has.
Yeah.
Now, I was amazed, and I don't know why I didn't just assume this had happened, but you were actually at like a cinema screening during its original release. We have a little this is a little picture of you.
Oh
at the
my
time.
lord above. I love it. Love it.
This was.
I'm assuming that's on the night, Efren, is it? Yeah.
That was me dressing up for the night of Star Wars, man. Back in 1977, I was past point was the king of San Francisco, and I was, this movie just burst upon the scene. Didn't know anything about it. Obviously, it just started, gaining momentum, and everybody started talking about it. And once this movie came out, it just seemed like it had been part of my life, even before the movie came out. Before Star Wars, they say Jaws was the movie that started like summer blockbuster movies, but I really think it was Star Wars that took it to the next stratosphere, so to speak. Yeah. Everybody wanted to go see it. I don't know how many times I saw this movie. We were just constantly, myself and my friends, we were just talking about Star Wars like for the whole summer, for the whole year. It was such an event, it just basically took over our lives, and it's the movie obviously that started it all, back in 1977. Yeah, it was black and white back then, so I see.
I looked it up, and most of the photos were in black and white, which I'm like, it's not that long ago.
I was like a junior or senior in high school, so I sent James this picture. Obviously, this is when I graduated high school, and we just were talking about this movie endlessly, in my friend's house, or my house. We were just talking about, when is the next one coming out? What were the first three? This was like episode 4. I go, what the heck was episodes 1, 2, and 3? And it just grabbed our attention, and this was the start of it all. I was like, wow, man, this movie, where has it been all my life? Yes.
Efren, when you first saw it, did you get that feeling that it was going to be something special? Because it wasn't expected to be anywhere near as big as it is it?
Yeah, it just consumed our lives. We just couldn't wait. The way it ended, well, not ended. It was the way this movie ended. It was like a celebration. Then we found out later on, hey, there's going to be more of them, and yeah, it just took over our lives for the longest time, and even to this day, obviously I'm wearing Star Wars shirts. I have a Star Wars, print right behind me. I just, part of my life is all Star Wars. I would say, not to get anybody mad, I do enjoy Star Trek more, but Star Wars is just a worldwide phenomenon now. It's just it's ingrained in our lives, whether we like it or not. I always say comic books are in our DNA. I really think Star Wars is in our DNA. It's part of our lives now.
Do you remember like the first time you heard about it? Like, I don't know, how close to the release did you see it? Like, had you just people been hyping it up around you, or heard on the radio?
I wish I would have remembered when I first heard of it. Obviously, it was in 1977. Those were my hippie days. What kind of drugs I was taking back then. But no, I wish I would remember exactly when I heard about it. Obviously, is like the first month that it came out, I saw it. And just the lines were enormous just to get in. I was like, what is this all about? This is like the first time I actually was in a long line for a movie theater, not like other movie theaters, you just walk in, basically. But this one was just, the lines just went on, and it was just a big party, basically. Everybody was just talking about Star Wars, And after the final trilogy of 4, 5, and 6, I went to a midnight showing of 4, 5, and 6 at a movie theater. And it was so much fun.
Awesome.
We went through it started about 4:00 in the evening, and we saw all 3 movies at the movie theater. That was such a special event too.
Yeah, I have to say, like, if I was a time traveler, like opening weekend of Star Wars would be on the list, definitely. It's just like a momentous thing to be there for. Is there any, because I'm a big fan of I don't know if you've ever watched that 70s show.
Oh yes.
And there's an episode where they go to see Star Wars, and it's like afterwards they're talking about it, and they're like, "Oh, he's just Leia's going to end up with Luke," and there's like all these kind of outdated thereries. Was there anything like you thought about it afterwards that kind of changed, like when the next one came out?
No, gosh, you're talking about over.
I think just that you recall. I'm not expecting the details.
We just really would just delve into the movie. We were just like breaking it down, nitpicking at my friend's house, what's going to happen in the next series. And then when they started bringing in, the clones, who they were exactly, how exactly did everything happen and everything. We would just constantly mesh over the whole movie, speaking of Han, Luke, and Leia, and Chewbacca, C-3PO, R2-D2, it would just be a generalization about the movie, what we liked about it. But this would constantly go on week after week, month after month.
Yeah.
It would just be brought up on our conversations, and that was, like I said, it just never ends. I mean, 1977. We're talking about what, over 40 years ago now, and we're still talking about Star Wars. It's incredible.
Exactly. We are tonight. We did last month. I'm curious because I asked you recently whether you had seen the holiday special, and you haven't. So you didn't watch that at the time. Was there had you heard it was bad, maybe, or
I just never knew it came out.
Okay.
And there was only 3 networks back then. It was only CBS. Well, here CBS, ABC, and NBC. I just never knew about it for some reason. I just never saw it.
I would have thought that'd been massive because there was a point.
I was a kid outside playing Star Wars or having fun. I just didn't realize it. And it was only on once, and then it was gone.
Exactly, isn't it? Yeah. So the fact that there was a time where that was half of Star Wars. There was the movie and then the holiday special before Empire came out. In this, I'm curious also for Empire in the cinema. What was there an audible reaction to the "I am your father" moment? Did people kind of shout?
Everybody was just yelling and screaming. When he said "I am your father," I went, "What the frack is going on here?" What? And then we found out, man, it was just the excitement, just the energy. You can just feel the energy in the movie theater. I think this was when movie theaters were more fun to go to, and it was packed, and you can just feel the energy. You could feel off the energy of everybody else next to you. It was just big yells and cheers, and just the opening scene, the swirl when they start coming up and they start, giving a synopsis and the music and everything. I was like, oh my God, this is it. The next 2+ hours, we were just frozen in our seats, in carbonite. We wouldn't move. So it was exciting times. I always say, I wish I was younger. But then, I also appreciate that I saw this movie when it first came out, and all the first.
Absolutely. For me, there's no equivalent really. I think maybe Avatar, but that's just doesn't have the same cultural impact. I think that's I mean, nothing does to Star Wars, but maybe Lord of the Rings, but I was so young I don't remember much of seeing that. But it's a really amazing. I'm honestly jealous. It's a really amazing thing to have kind of been around for yourself. Did you get any the the whole send off the you pay and send off the letter and you get a token to get to the figure when it comes out? Did you get one of them?
For the love of God, man, I don't know why I didn't collect Star Wars figures when it first came out or anything. I just didn't. It went right past me. There was a Toys R Us in San Francisco. I just didn't buy them. And I was like, dang it. Past point, what were you thinking back in the day? So no, I didn't do any of that, man. I regret that so much.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. For me, my first experience was seeing Phantom Menace in the cinema. I think it was 4. My aunt brought me to see it, and I went all in on. I had an Anakin Skywalker pod racing bike. I had the ridiculous Jar Jar merchandise that you see. I had all of that. I had the sticky, the lollipop, you squeeze it and it shoots a sticky tongue out. Jar Jar was my hero. I loved it. So
honestly, back in the 1970s, around that age, I think I was more worried about my hair, looking good, than I was about Star Wars.
Oh, you look good, Efren. There was nothing to worry about.
I thought it was Bruno Mars.
If everybody in the chat commenting on it, little heartbreaker, Jeff Goldblum, so fifth Beatles member. Incredible effort. I'm very jealous that you got to experience this incredible thing. So fantastic.
Yeah,
is that enough time?
Yeah.
Are we done?
Yeah, sure.
I wish it was back in 1977. So
yeah. So it was a groovy time.
Yeah.
Right. Let's see. We'll start with Geeky. Alexi.
I think I redeemed myself.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
You're back.
Fantastic. Love it.
The thing is, my phone's just about to die, so I have to keep knocking it on and off for the references. And
well, the last one is more of a.
No, the last one's straight from my head, mate. So
Yeah. James.
So I've gone with the best bounty hunter in the galaxy, which is Dengar. This is his ship. I think it's the punishing one.
Oh wow!
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
That's right, exactly.
There you go. Kev.
Oh, everyone else is so good. I went for a Naboo Starfighter.
Man,
Yes.
that's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Love it. Right, best for last we saved. Peter. Good luck.
Don't want to play. I did. Oh shit! I did a TIE fighter fighting the Enterprise. Look,
That's not bad at all.
That's all right.
Very
you've got a
good.
couple of photon torpedoes there, some phaser blasts. You know, it's
Ambitious.
I'll
ambitious.
put that on the fridge, Pete.
Yeah,
It was all right. It was all right until you brought Star Trek into it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, hold them up for the photo. And click. There we go. Beautiful.
Peter, I would love to see that fight scene in a movie.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we all know who would win it from.
Oh yes, for sure.
Right. So the last now, what is Star Wars without a few droids?
Ooh.
So I would like you to create your own droid. So your own model of droid. So you can't just take a C-3PO and make them green. You want a brand new droid companion. Very good. Now, Efren, you want to talk about just the future of the movie? You kind of alluded to it earlier, where you'd like the series as a whole to go. But in terms of movies and TV shows, live action stuff.
Okay, when this is like I said, folks, this is just my opinion. You know, when it comes to the movies, for some reason, I just want them to move forward. You know, I understand. You know, when the last 3 movies came out, they had to include some of the original characters of Star Wars, but I just think they should go past that now and just focus on the new characters and bring in characters that they've, new creations also. But I understand these studios, they want to make money. That's their, as much as we enjoy these movies, their primary goal is to make money. And it may, they're probably thinking we have to bring in some of the original characters somehow, even if it's just a cameo to bring in money. And if they do that, that's okay. But besides C-3PO and R2-D2, that should be the one link, I think, to the past that they should keep. But I'm into these new characters and I want to see them progress and, become more, see what their lives are about. And I know, Rey is probably going to be in the next movie, but even think about maybe putting her in a Disney Plus series for a little bit, just to see how this character develops, besides the movie, because the movie's only going to be like about 2 hours long or 2.5. We won't be able to see how much she has developed, but maybe, show them in a series, every now and then just to see. But I hope they move forward and forget most of the past. And like I said, that's just my opinion.
So you're talking just the movie, or would you mean like you don't like seeing Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian or original characters in that?
I do like that. Like when Luke came out.
You cheered when he came in, and
it's so mixing. When he came out in The Mandalorian, what was it, season 2, I believe?
Yep.
I did enjoy that. But when it comes to movies, I hope, if it's about Star Wars, I hope they don't focus so much on the past and just let the past lie where it is and just move forward and give us new stuff. Because there are there's going to be a new generation of Star Wars fans who, to them, this is their Star Wars,
Yeah.
And but we'll see what they do.
Absolutely. Like, it's been 8 years since Force Awakens.
Wow.
So you're gonna have in the next couple of years, by the time this Rey movie rolls around, people who grew up on the sequels, and that's their Star Wars. So you're absolutely right. But it's interesting. I think they said it's 15 years later.
Okay.
So, and this will be the furthest forward set thing. Like, nothing's been put past Rise of Skywalker so far. There's supposed to be a Lando show, but who knows if that's actually going to happen or not. But once they do that, you have the opportunity to kind of go back and explore the interim there. Various novels and comics.
You just brought up a good point. What is your Star Wars? What do you think when you first think of Star Wars? What do you think of?
It's the Revenge of the Sith, to be honest. Like, it's the it's the transit. Like I like the transition. I like the halfway point between the prequels and the like. My favorite period of Star Wars is smack in the middle of Revenge of the Sith and The New Hope. So I like the mix of like Clone Troopers and Clone Wars stuff with the Stormtroopers and original trilogy. So yeah, the elements of both. Like I think of battle droids as quickly as I think of Stormtroopers. So yeah, it's for me it's like that's why my very first look at Star Wars was Darth Maul and rat-tailed haired Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon and pod racing and woohoo yippee, you know. So and Jar Jar. Of course,
and mine is obviously the original 3 movies, you know, and I think for future generations, it should be their defining movie should be something that's completely different, you know, and new and fresh, and hopefully, you know, it will be that, you know. I know it's hard to do that, but
yeah. Do you think this Rey movie will be like Episode 10, or it's just going to be a Rey movie? Do you think it should be Episode 10?
No. I just think, you know, so to speak, start off with a clean slate. We know the history of Star Wars now. They may say Episode 10, but I hope they don't, because I think they just promote. They should just. It won't be a reboot per se, but it'll be a fresh start, which I hope they do. You know. And
I'd imagine you'll have like a fresh cast of young Jedi. I'm assuming.
All I say is whoever writes the script, you're gonna have a lot of pressure. And damn it, do it right. You know?
I'm trying to think who. I think they might have announced who is writing or directing. I'm trying to think now off the top of my head. I can't remember. But you have, you know, there's this movie. Taika Waititi's doing a movie. I think that's the furthest along. So that'd be like.
Did it not get cancelled, that one?
Not yet. I don't think.
Not yet. Give it time.
Not yet. Well, that's it. Every how many movies have been cancelled over the last? We're supposed to get a Rogue Squadron movie from the Wonder Woman director.
Patty Jenkins.
Patty Jenkins, yeah. There was supposed to be a Kevin Feige movie that's gone. There was supposed to be a Ryan Johnson was supposed to do a trilogy, and that's gone. So, like, who knows if any of these actually happen?
I've always thought, and you know, we know there's writers for movies, obviously, or scripts. When it depends on a certain movie or genre, they should ask somebody. I mean, not obviously go with every word they're saying, but have somebody who's really into Star Wars, like a fan. Just show them, hey, this is what we're going to do. What do you think? And not obviously take all their opinions and put it onto the script, but just get a point of view from somebody who's really into a certain series. For example, just a little side note, when they did the Wolverine movie, the first one, and when they butchered Deadpool, if they would have asked anybody who read comic books, they would have said, what the heck are you doing? You know, why are you doing Deadpool like this? Something like that. Just get an opinion from an outside, you know, person who knows more about Star Wars than you would know. That's just my opinion.
I think that's the good thing about Filoni is he grew up on Star Wars, lifelong fan. You know, a protege of George Lucas as well, so a deep understanding of what works about Star Wars. So yeah, like I'm excited to see his movie. I'm it's looking almost certain that it's an Heir to the Empire adaptation, like a loose one. Just swapping out some of the characters, so like that'll be really interesting to see. Do you have any like specific like pitch for a movie you'd like to see, or like a certain character you'd like to see get a spin-off?
I would like to see more, and I'm sorry I'm drawing a blank on the character, but in this movie, he was what were the 3 main characters' names? There was Rey,
Rey
and say that again.
Poe Dameron.
Oh, that's who I want. Poe Dameron. I'd like to see more adventures with him. You know,
Oscar Isaac's sort of sworn off of coming back, but then so did John Boyega.
I know I said I didn't want to do anything in the past, but if there's one character in the past I would like to see with their own series, or you know, it would be Dr. Aphra. I really like that character. I think, you know,
long overdue making the jump, I think, to live action.
Yeah,
it's going to happen. It's like almost a certainty. And like, a Disney Plus show with her, like Indiana Jones style, I think it'd be really fun.
Yeah,
kind of archaeology.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. I'd be up for that. Yeah. For me, like, I don't know. I don't know if there's any specific characters I'm like, oh, they need it. Like Afro jumps to mind as one I would like to see. Just thinking of like the tone of their comic and how that would work in live action. But for the most part, I think like every I like new stuff. I like the Acolyte is the one that intrigues me the most because that's like, you know, a couple hundred years earlier and new cast, completely new characters. So I'm like interested to see that. Although there was a great book, like it's Legends now, but Darth Plagueis, and so it was like young Palpatine being trained by Plagueis. That'd be a really cool one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be amazing to see. So like, yeah, a Palpatine prequel would be an interesting.
I like to see someone doing with Exar Kun. The Exar Kun, he was there when there was two of them, two Siths, and they went to war against each other. It was all like the legend stuff.
Right.
Great character.
Yeah, bring that back.
From what I remember.
Yeah, that'd be cool. The Dawn of the Jedi film, Ephraim, what do you think of that? Like going back to the beginning, 25,000 years or something?
Yeah, I would like to see that. You know, see how it all started. That'd be a good one to see too. You know, I think that'd be very interesting just to see how they started their, you know, so-called religion. You know, what led them to this path. You know, I think that'd be a good series. You know.
Yeah, I think as well. Like, yeah, James Mangold is directing that one, and Dial of Destiny didn't quite hit for me, but like I think that will be a completely new cast of characters. He can kind of do what he wants with it. So I have more faith in that anyway. And I think that is, we're going to call it time, guys.
I think Peter was done like about 2-3 minutes ago. He was just burying me.
I was sorting the slides out for the kind of the viewer bit.
Jumping ahead.
Yeah.
And just while we're doing this, guys, if you in the comments want to let us know what you want the guys to draw for the next round, I have a thing here for it. There you go. So we'll do this. All right, who will we start with? Pete, because look.
Ooh. It's a worker droid. He's got his hammer and his drill.
Oh, nice. I like it. Yeah. I like the body design, the kind of the screws in it and everything.
Yeah,
very cool.
Worker droid.
I like that.
I've made B19MC.
Very cool.
The food delivery droid.
I love that. That's awesome. Brilliant. James.
So there's a story. I hope you're sitting comfortably. So Jabba the Hutt, he got a little bit lonely as he was pursuing Han Solo and getting the guys to get Han Solo. So he commissioned a droid called Jamina the Hutt to keep him sexually entertained.
Sexy. I mean, I would. I like her. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yay.
Very cool. Very cool.
Peter.
Oh dear. Mine's a Jedi training droid called TG1. Yeah, pretty
awesome.
Cool.
No, I like it.
Yeah.
Very good.
Right.
Yep.
I removed you instead of pulling you down, Peter. Apologies.
I mean, you pulled us right. Okay.
Pulled you down.
Pulling you down from the solo.
Oh, great.
He's a dirty minds, Mr. Cockstarter over here. Like, here, let me take the banner down first. There we go. Yeah. All right. And click.
Cool.
Very good.
Awesome.
Right. See in the comments. We've just got one, so that makes this easy. Your favorite Jedi or Sith?
Can they create a new Jedi or Sith? You know, or does it have to
No.
be?
How long are we getting for this?
5. We'll say 5 minutes because me and Ephraim don't have a topic. This is usually where you guys talk about what you're doing. But I'm sure Ephraim will just off the top of his head have something he wants.
Yeah, we're actually speaking of. We don't have a topic for this. We are thinking of doing a new going live. We talked about it behind the scenes, Peter, yourself, and I. That we're just going to do a go live and have no specific topic. And just whatever pops up, and we'll talk about. We'll see how long it lasts. We may just have staring competitions with each other. See who blinks first, or who can hold their breath the longest. And we'll see how it goes. See who passes out first. It may just be a minute. Maybe live just for a minute, and we'll just end it.
It would be funny if that's the one that nobody comments on.
Yeah,
Like I wouldn't comment if nobody else was commenting, just to mess with the.
Yeah. So the idea of the show is that we'll have no slides and stuff, isn't it? And we'll let people in the chat direct and talk about or get what to talk about, whatever they want, really. So it could be, like Efren says, could be an absolute disaster, or it could be good fun.
Could be a game changer, Peter. It'd save you a lot of work.
Yeah.
I don't know, Efren, is there any other Star Warsy stuff you want to talk about?
James, if you want to jump ahead in my slides, you could talk about.
Oh, actually, yes.
That.
Hello, sexy.
Yeah.
Efren, what you think of this? This is a dream come true, really, isn't it?
About time. For God's sake. We've only been waiting like since over 20 years to see Wolverine in his costume, basically, you know? Yeah. I think it's about time, and hopefully they do it justice, this movie, when it's coming out. I'm having a little bit of trepidations about this movie because, as we all know, the Screenwriters Guild is still going on strike, and they cannot add anything to this script. And they mentioned that Ryan Reynolds does have credits as being a writer or contributing to this movie, and he ad-libs a lot of his movies, especially Deadpool, and I'm not sure what they're doing, how they can get around it, but he can't do that. And they're still filming as we speak, I think. So that's got me a little bit worried.
My assumption is that, well, one, he can go back in ADR stuff, like once the strike is over. So I wouldn't be shocked if he's literally writing stuff down as it happens and going, oh, I'll use this for this scene or something like that.
Yeah, maybe.
Also, I'd imagine there'll be reshoots. So they're counting on reshoots to add that kind of stuff in. But yeah, no, it is concerning if we'll notice that when the movie actually comes out, like, oh, this one wasn't as funny as the other ones because there wasn't as much of that improv and such. But like, I was certain as soon as he was casting this that we were going to get the yellow suit, even just for like a flash on the screen. Here you go, nerds. There's this costume. But yeah, obviously it looks like that's what he's wearing for the majority of the movie. Looks great. I think really just pulled off of the comic screen. I'm not mad about the long sleeve. Like, I know it's nitpicking, but like I would prefer the arms being exposed, especially with like the guns that Jackson has.
Yeah, they mentioned that. I already read about that. They're saying, don't worry, he's gonna have those sleeves ripped off by the time the scene's over.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. But like, I love the texture of it, and I think just side by side with Deadpool, it looks perfect, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Funny how they just thought this would never work on camera for so long, and it's like, here it is, and it looks amazing.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Anyone else? Any comments on the?
I'm getting slightly worried that this movie's just going to have so much going on. It's going to be kind of unwieldy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we got Jennifer Garner as Elektra.
Yeah, and I noticed Ben Affleck was mentioned the other day as well.
Well, was it Luke the other day that said about it could be Deadpool kills the Fox universe, basically, like the idea of the movie. That sounds really fun.
Peter just said this. I just hope they don't go overboard with all these cameos and take away from. I don't know, man. I'm gonna enjoy it, but hopefully it's not. We're not inundated with all these cameos and just extra scenes and everything. So I just hope that it's I didn't
We're always like concerned because it's been a few multiverse movies now about like, oh, is there going to be too many cameos? But like, has there been one that you felt that so far?
No, I felt let down in all of them, to be honest.
Exactly. So like, we've not really got like, I know that there's that scene I feel like everybody kind of has going through their head of like jumping multiverse, like into a universe. There's an actor or a world we know, into another universe. There's another world we know, and we've not actually gotten that yet. Like Multiverse of Madness, kind of it looked like that was going to happen. It didn't. Spider-Verse movies, sort of, not really.
I guess my only concern really is I kind of was expecting Secret Wars to be huge, and that's when we'd get all of these kind of fancy crossovers and stuff. If you've done it to death by the time Secret Wars comes, there's going to be nothing exciting about Secret Wars.
Well, yeah, who's left by the time you get to Secret Wars to put in it,
unless they bring back the original MCU characters.
Well, let me ask a quick question. Peter, your son is a teenager. When he watches these movies, I know we care about him because, we're so much into it. But is your son, is he into comic books? Does he care who shows up? Does it bother him? Or this better be good like we do?
Nah. The cameos don't bother him a jot because he doesn't really recognize them. Particularly the older ones, you know, your Christopher Reeve, Superman, all that kind of jazz, meant absolutely nothing to him.
Okay.
Yeah, well, he has no attachment to Christopher Reeve, Superman, or any of them. Yeah. No, that's fair. Any of the rest of you guys, any comments on the costume?
I like it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just happy, just good to see it, isn't it? Yeah.
It is. It's like Efren said, been waiting such a long time for it.
And
it's just great to see. We've got that teaser in the Wolverine.
This picture is just missing his cigar. He should be chomping on the cigar.
Doesn't Disney have a thing with the
Marvel?
Marvel
Won't allow it.
You don't let them smoke.
Yeah.
Which is why I was surprised in Dial of Destiny that
he's a Nazi, wasn't it? Nazi was smoking. That's all right.
That's all right, isn't it?
Yeah, these bad guys could smoke.
Yeah.
But the thing is, this is going to be R-rated, so this should be allowed, really.
I think it's more of a moral thing. Like for the company, we don't promote smoking in our movies. Like Obadiah Stane in Iron Man was the last one, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, which I mean, like that's not the biggest deal, is it really? But this is sort of a weird shot to be the reveal, isn't it? Why did he pick this one? You think it would have been like a little teaser of the hand or like the glove or something? You know, like it's just like, oh, boom, there's the costume, no helmet.
I guess there's been a whole host, hasn't there, of photoshopped images over the weekend. So maybe this was just a kind of a shut up. This is what you're getting.
Or they're filming outside, so it's just to get ahead of it. This is what they're going to see in the leaked photos, so we may as well just show it here. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah.
Very sharp, these figures stink.
Yeah, man, what a crap.
Yeah.
Are we done, do we think?
I think we are. Right, guys.
Coloring.
Let's see. I'll leave you last, Pete, then. That'll be nice. James.
What a guy. Tremendous.
Awesome. Very nice.
Very cool.
Nice it is.
Oh, that was terrible, James.
I know. How good you know.
Wow, nice it is.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Piss off, Kev.
More Darth it is, yes.
Yeah. So I realised I was being too ambitious, and then I was trying to finish the slides as my defence. So I don't know what the shit that's meant to be. Yeah, it's just
Yikes.
And of course I've gone after Kev as well. So yeah, that is Darth Maul. Just in case
it's more like Ego, the Living Planet.
Yeah,
Night Thrasher.
Night Thrasher. Yeah, that's what I was going for, James. It's Night Thrasher. Yeah,
that's very good. Wrong week, but it's a good.
Yeah.
And GP.
Oh,
very nice.
There you go.
Cool. Finish that off, man, and post that on Instagram.
Okay, Peter, we're gonna do a redo. We're gonna give you another 5 minutes. Okay, go.
Show them, guys. Kev, that one's phenomenal, mate.
Yeah.
They all are.
Zoom out a little bit, GP. Pull back a little. Yeah. And click. Very good.
Tremendous. Okay, thank you very much, guys. That has been great fun as ever. Some stunning images there. Thank you, James and Efren. As ever, you've led that beautifully. Just before we kind of move on, just to show you some of the images that have come in as the night's gone on. I won't have all of them because the last one normally I don't get a chance to grab off Instagram. But I just wanted to start off with this. This came to me via James at the weekend as an act of kindness. Didn't realize it was from you, James. So thank you very much. It's absolutely stunning. I love it, mate. So thank you. Really do appreciate it.
You're welcome.
GP, this is a bit of work that you had a bit more time to do.
Yeah.
This
a little
is
bit.
superb.
That's class.
Wow.
Absolutely superb.
Love that.
Yeah, very, very cool. Very cool. I like
Thank
that one
you.
a lot. Ben, attention-seeking geek, sent this one in.
There'll be a Max Freeball.
Yeah. Very cool.
Look great though. That looks like proper animated.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Very good. It's very good. So, yeah. Very cool. I love that one. Chris Bell sent this in. This is a hand sketch.
Oh, mate.
That is phenomenal. Yeah. do you know what? I love doing this show, but it makes us intensely jealous and hate you all because everybody's just so much better. You know what I mean? It's amazing, Chris. Well done, bud. It's done.
Well, Phil's not here.
Well, Phil's not here. Now look at this. This
here.
is from Jack again. Just
Brilliant.
stunning, absolutely stunning. Incredible Vader with his face exposed there. Bit of Anakin going on.
Well, that's like my t-shirt. That's what I got on today.
Yeah. Did you get that one from Celebration, James? Is that one you got from Celebration?
I did. Yeah. Best t-shirt there, I think.
Yeah. Very cool. So again, some amazing work. And then as the night's gone on, we've had some brilliant artwork as ever from Mrs. Von Hoot. So we've got this. Nice. This is our bounty hunter. Really, I love the way she shows us in watercolors. Now this one is phenomenal. Love that. This is our TIE fighter, looking incredibly cool as usual. And then finally, she did a close-up of Ahsoka, which again is absolutely stunning. So again, some brilliant work there, everybody. Thank you very much for those. They look phenomenal. Right, guys, that was Star Wars Art Attack. Next Art Attack, which will be the start of August, we're going to do a bit of X-Men action, a bit of mutant action. So looking forward to that. This can be anything you want, James and Efren, anything from the kind of the Marvel mutant stable. So goodies, baddies, whatever you want. And yeah, we'll get some X action going on. We've mentioned that already. Just wanted to mention that next Monday I'm doing a This Is My with this gentleman called Doug, who writes a comic called Isolation in conjunction with Reggie Collects. So I'm going to be doing This Is My with him. And then the next night, on the Tuesday, I'm going to be doing This Is My with John Lees, the writer of Sync, Crimson Cage, and a few other things. So really, really looking forward to those. And as ever, at the end of the week, I will have my comic review show, my toy review show, and then my Saturday night hangout. That's your whack. Right, just before we go, quickly go around. James, anything coming up on your channel you want to mention, mate?
Yeah, I'm working on that.
Oh, sorry.
You go first.
Sorry, what a horrible faux pas.
Good looking, James. You go first.
Well, of course.
So
obviously, I meant comic deal. Come on. Yeah.
All right, sorry. I actually do have a video coming out tomorrow. It's another unboxing. I had one last week. I've got another one coming out tomorrow. So it was it's the #1 mystery box. Pete, that you did a while back. If you remember, you did the issue 1. So I bought one of run from them, and I opened that up and recorded that. And kind of wish I didn't, but it's there for all to see.
I was gonna say, I don't know if you saw the live show. So I bought that #1's mystery box, and it was good. And then I bought 2 boxes. What was it, a funny box or something? And did them on a live show.
I seen the signed one, wasn't it? The signed one.
Dreadful.
But yeah,
I'm sure yours will be better.
It was hit and miss, but you can all go and find that out for yourselves. All right. You don't need me to tell you. That's going to be there tomorrow.
Excellent. Look forward to that, James. Kev, what's your draw along this week?
This week I need to film it, but I'm going to be doing gesture drawing, so I'm moving away from doing characters and I'm doing more like tutorials on how to draw. So last week I done a perspective, drawing in perspective one, and this week I'm going to be doing one about gesture drawing. So that's putting characters in positions and making them look like they're moving and stuff. So
all right,
trying to make characters less stiff. But yeah,
brilliant.
I need to record it first.
Yeah. Brilliant. And just whilst you're on, Kev, remind people about your self-published work and how they can get a hold of that if they wanted.
Yeah. Have I got any near to hand? I do. There you go. So I got the Last Time Here comic here. You can DM me on Instagram. My Instagram handle's there. I'm trying to do how they do it. There we go. My Instagram handle's there, so you can DM me if you're interested in getting hold of these. We've got the 4 issues so far. The last line here. I finished plotting the 5th issue today, so I'm going to be starting drawing that very soon.
Super.
As well.
Are you still taking commissions as well, Kev?
Sorry.
Do you still take commissioned work as well?
I do as well. Yeah.
Excellent. Brilliant. Yeah. Brilliant. So if you want some of Kev's superb artwork, please do drop him a message on the handle there. I picked up it was a He-Man versus, I can't remember, He-Man versus
He-Man, Thor.
Thundercats or something. Thor, yeah, He-Man versus Thor,
yeah.
Which was tremendous. So yeah, please do check him out. GP, what have you got coming up on your channel, mate?
Yeah, review of Philadelphia tomorrow, and I've got a pile of books I need to do overviews on. First one's going to be Daphne Bryan, one of the Hill House comics. So I've nearly got all my bullet points done for that.
Good
It's
stuff.
just getting the time. So
Yeah. I've not read that one, so I look forward to that, mate. I like the Joe Hill books.
Yeah.
Ephraim, what have we got coming up on Pass Point Comics?
Tonight at 6 p.m. my time, not my channel, but my friend Hoodrat, he just hit 1,000 subscribers. So we're going to celebrate that on his channel tonight. And tomorrow, it's almost like a bookend. We didn't plan this, but I always, I started this a couple of weeks ago, where I just show books that are coming out for New Comic Book Day that have grabbed my attention, that I'm going to be picking up and reading. And then on Friday, Peter actually does a review of some books that he's read. So it's like a book, and one in the beginning of the week and at the end of the week. This upcoming Friday, I'm gonna, on my channel at 8 p.m., we're gonna do a San Diego Comic-Con preview show, talking about everything about Comic-Con. And during Comic-Con week, which starts July 21st, I'm gonna be going on Instagram Live as much as I can. So everybody wants to check out the convention center, I'm gonna be doing as many, live broadcasts. And Friday of Comic-Con, I know it's a lot, excuse me, but we're going to be hosting a panel, how to start a comic YouTube channel. And on the Saturday of Comic-Con's the last one, I'm going to be on Peter's channel, which I always look forward to, just going live on his YouTube channel, and a quick little bit on Comic-Con. Hopefully it'll be lots of fun doing that, which it always is. I enjoy doing that.
Thank you very much, Ephraim. Looking forward to those, mate. That'll be really good fun. Yeah. And I hope you have an amazing convention. I'm sure you will.
Yeah.
James T, what have we got coming up on your channel?
Yeah, I'm working on a Star Wars video at the moment, which I'm not prepared to say what it is yet, but I'm writing that at the moment. I have my shorts every kind of day or two as well. I'm doing Mission Impossible movies. That's the next one. So for the new one coming out, once I've seen it, I'll have that up. And then I just realized I'll have a live show at the end of the month, because the Twisted Metal TV show will be starting, so I'll be doing a review just on the first episode. I'm not doing everyone like last time.
I'm not looking forward to that, James.
It's James, the trailer, mate, was dreadful.
It looked terrible.
There was a new trailer today.
Not the trailer, sorry, the clip. Yeah.
Oh, horrendous! Like the worst thing I've ever seen. But we can laugh at it at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll do the first one, and I might do like a season one at the end of it if it keeps me throughout. So yeah, that'll be
good stuff. Good stuff. Looking forward to that. Okay, gentlemen, as ever, massive thank you. Thank you to everybody that's been in the chat. Really do appreciate it. And we will catch you all next time. Take care, everybody. Bye.